The Madzitsa mussel farm is located in Saldanha Bay on the South African west coast. It was established as a mussel farming project by Blue Bay Aquafarm, a small-scale commercial venture through a Black Empowerment Transformation program. The farm grows mussels on ropes that are suspended from floating rafts. Once the mussels reach market size, they are harvested and sold to a local mussel processing plant in the small town of Veltrift. Madzitsa holds the water lease and mariculture rights, while shareholders are linked to the ownership of the rafts. The 18 rafts are owned by 9 farmers from previously disadvantaged groups who have received skills-based and financial training. The farmers work in autonomous units of 3, working on their rafts on a rotational basis. Each unit produces 10 to 15 tons of mussels per month. These farmers share the income generated from their produce. Captains of their own ship, making their own decisions in their own business, they have created a better quality life for themselves and their families. Mussel farming is based on the harvesting of Mytilus galloprovincialis, a worldwide recognized alien species.
The Mytilus was first recorded in South Africa in 1979, and we think it was introduced to Saldanha Bay or Table Bay region. And since then it's spread very rapidly, particularly up the west coast, and more slowly along the south coast, not assisted by the fact that one of the farmers in Saldanha took a mussel rope with Mytilus on it and moved that mussel rope to a mussel farm in Port Elizabeth. So that set up a secondary site of infestation, and the Mytilus spread out from there.
Harbours are a focal point for the introduction of alien marine species. This is due to the fact that the movement of these aliens is often associated with international shipping. It is likely that the alien mussel Mytilus arrived in South Africa in this way.
So the invasion has a whole range of different ecological impacts. But perhaps the most obvious one is that it's radically increased the biomass of mussels in the intertidal zone. So there's several thousand tons, I think, of additional mussels in the intertidal, particularly on the west coast.
Mytilus is listed as an invasive species under the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act. In terms of Section 70, it is listed as an invasive marine species regulated by area. Draft regulations pertaining to this act have been prepared, the purpose of which is to manage and control both alien and invasive species and to prevent or minimize harm to the environment and biodiversity in particular. The Act and its draft regulations require a permit to carry out activities in respect to both alien and invasive species. Currently, farming of Mytilus is regulated by permits issued by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries.
It would be extremely difficult to eradicate the mussels now that they've spread over perhaps 2,000 kilometers of coastline. And this is particularly the case because they're broadcast spawners. So each individual mussel can spawn 5 or 6 million eggs on a spawning. And there are several thousand mussels on each square meter of rock. So the total number of mussel eggs that are spawned into the sea runs into the billions for each square meter of mussels that's present. So the sea is basically full of, it's a soup of mussel eggs and larvae, and they can travel for very long distances. So it's virtually impossible now that they've spread over this huge area to eradicate them. One would have to eliminate every last individual mussel.
Faced with no possibility of eradicating this alien, decision makers in South Africa were dynamic in the implementation of the relevant laws. Madzitsa Mussel Farm is an excellent example of a successful black empowerment program within the South African aquaculture industry, and the sensible use of an alien species benefiting a whole community. Its business model demonstrates that an active partnership between an established private aquaculture producer, a financial institution, and motivated black entrepreneurs is an excellent recipe for success. Madzitsa Mussel Farm is a positive example of transforming an environmental threat into a sustainable economic opportunity for the benefit of previously disadvantaged groups and their community at large.